Employment Law This Week. I'm George Whipple. Our top story, Election Day brings a wave of new laws affecting employers. While all eyes were on the battle for the White House, voters in a number of states approved new legislation that will directly impact employers. Arizona and Washington will soon require paid sick leave for workers, as well as minimum wage increases. Medical marijuana is now legal in Arkansas, Florida, and North Dakota, while recreational use was approved in California, Maine, Massachusetts, and Nevada. The new laws in Arkansas and Maine explicitly prohibit employment discrimination against medical marijuana users. Debbie Cannavino has more on the new cannabis laws.
Even if marijuana is legal in certain states, employers can still regulate its use in the workforce and have policies to maintain a drug-free workplace, just like they do with alcohol. For example, employers can have policies that indicate that an employee cannot use, possess, grow, or distribute marijuana in the workplace. Employers can also have policies indicating that, like alcohol, marijuana cannot be consumed during the workday, and that an employee cannot come to work under the influence of marijuana.
Another move towards sexual orientation protections in Title VII. The U.S. District Court for the Western District of Pennsylvania has denied a motion to dismiss a sexual orientation case brought by the EEOC, one of several claims the agency is pursuing across the country. The employer in this case had argued for dismissal because Title VII's prohibition of sexual discrimination does not apply to sexual orientation discrimination. The court found that sexual orientation discrimination is a subset of sexual stereotyping covered by Title VII. This same issue is currently pending before the appellate courts in the Second and Seventh Circuits, in cases where the district courts ruled that sexual orientation discrimination is not prohibited by Title VII. A Texas district court has permanently enjoined the U.S. Department of Labor from enforcing its 2016 amended persuader rule, after concluding that the amended rule is unlawful. The decision applies nationwide, making permanent a preliminary injunction the court issued in June. The rule would have required employers to report payments made to consultants, including lawyers, in connection with even indirect efforts to influence employees' opinions on labor unions and a wide range of employment matters. The Fourth Circuit rules that nurses can unionize. The court recently upheld the NLRB's conclusion that registered nurses and licensed practical nurses at a nursing home in South Carolina can unionize because they do not exercise enough independent judgment to be supervisors. The court deferred to the NLRB's position that these employees do not exercise independent judgment because their decisions are controlled by company policies or rules. Now, it's time for our tip of the week. Lenora Billings-Harris, diversity strategist, award-winning international speaker, and author of The Diversity Advantage, is here with some advice on how to combat unconscious bias.
We could not get through the day if we didn't have bias, because bias is a mental association or a preference. However, we can mitigate some of the negative consequences when our biases are inappropriate or wrong. So the first thing that we can do is to become more self-aware. How I mean that is pay attention to those judgments, those biases that are in our head. Recognize that belonging is so important to us as human beings. When we don't have a sense of belonging, our brain equates it to pain. So imagine in the workplace when people are being excluded unintentionally. They actually are feeling a sense of pain. So think to yourself, how would I feel if someone stole my idea, if someone wasn't listening to me, if someone didn't recognize I was even there, because that's what, quote unquote, others feel. And then do those things to turn it around.
Thanks, Lenora. That's it for Employment Law This Week. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.